This is the Ball Control Podcast. This is the weekly JBA review. I'm Brian. I got Sean on the line, and we're about to discuss Liangelo Ball is in the JBA. What happened, Sean? Why is Liangelo Ball in the JBA right now?
Because LeVar is a control freak. I'm sorry, I had to say it. He just is. He has to. After a while, I just give up. I'm not watching that. I mean, we could talk about it, but I'm only watching Atlanta games. Like, I don't want to. It's upsetting to me.
What has got you upset about the Jello situation? Like, what is it that is just like, okay, I'm done?
Liangelo, like, I'm not saying the league is not good, but I'm saying not for him. He's at a stature of fame that he can go to another team in the Euro League or play in the Drew League. He has many other ways of getting to the NBA that these guys don't have. LaMelo, on the other hand, he's 16, so it's understandable. He can go through this waste of time. Liangelo can't. And LeVar...
So you feel like it lacks a sense of urgency.
It really does. They're not taking it serious enough. Like, and not only that, they don't think about the media. Like, when I was talking to Brandon, he you know, Brent, people might not know, but this is one of these, you know, a LeVar camper. I'm not even going to call them skeptics. They're just people who love LeVar too much to the point that they can't be objective. He doesn't understand the PR of this because scouts don't just look up the skill point. They look up how does it look. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Because you have to
feel like
explain.
I definitely feel like the media is going to use this against him.
They already did. Like, small YouTubers are already doing this. And actually, small YouTubers that like LeVar are totally against this. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a lot of people are done with it. I think also because he did that interview where he himself said the JBA would be a step back for me. It has this feel like he's being forced to do this.
Of course he is. Like,
it would be different if we had from the beginning heard, like, let me ask you a question. If from the beginning Liangelo was excited about the JBA in the same fashion that LaMelo Ball was excited about the JBA from the beginning, right? Like, if Liangelo seemed like the JBA was a viable option to him this whole time, would you feel the same?
I would. It still would be. It wouldn't be as big of a deal for me like it is now, but it still wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't buy it for him. I just wouldn't.
I don't know.
Now you're
hurting. There's a couple of different things going on. There's a couple of different things going on. I don't feel like there's much to gain. I don't feel like there's much to gain, and I feel like there's a lot more to lose.
Exactly.
If he goes in this league and doesn't play well, I don't think that's a possibility though. I can't see him not playing well. I can't.
Yeah, but he's going to be playing sloppy though. Like, we know when he plays in the LeVar system, quote unquote, I keep on calling it that, he plays real sloppy. His 3-point percentages go down because he keeps shooting up bad shots. Remember the end of Vitotis? And even in the middle of the season, he was making smart shots. He was looking for his teammates in the right plays. LeVar's system doesn't want that. It wants you to run the floor and run to the point where you fall on the floor trying to find a teammate or trying to just score and kill yourself. It's not stable. So when scouts see this, they're going to be like, what am I looking at?
I'm like, okay, he has teams in Europe right now that are openly trying to recruit him as a player. He has teams. Jello made a name for himself overseas. He made a name for himself. And I'm like, after this JBA situation, let's say, there's so many different scenarios. And the cool thing is we're going to see it play out. You know what I mean? Good, for better or for worse, we're going to get to see it play out. But there's a couple of different scenarios. Like, what if Jello is a catalyst for the popularity of this league. Like, what if the league becomes more popular because Jello is in the league, and by virtue of that, you don't want that to suddenly leave the JBA, do you?
Now, here, Brent. Now, please don't say that. That's a nightmare to me. No, Brent, I'm going to explain why that won't work. Because LeVar will ruin that. Because hasn't gotten the jerseys out. LeVar hasn't helped the players. Players were, quote-unquote, heard crying about things. LeVar is willing to ruin other players' careers so his son can get it playing at hot time in the team. When Liangelo could have definitely just played with New York.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to get into, and I'm trying to understand. Like, how many players were cut from this LA Ballers team?
I don't
because
think they were
Brandon said something kind of curious, and I asked him another question on Twitter, but he didn't expound
on it. They were
But
rearranged.
I'm like,
he said it.
He said like the team was overhauled, like it was several players taken off that team. I mean, we'll find out soon enough, but I was like, wow.
If
you know, and
true,
then I think Melo made a
LeVar.
comment like, "Hey, if you don't want to play hard, you'll be cut."
Nick, first of all, LaMelo has no right to be talking about playing hard. Yes, he can give you 40 points. He plays like Westbrook. Dude, he's great offensively, but defensively, he's terrible. He just withers his arms around, and then he lets his opponent.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always, when I look at Melo and Jello, I say things like this. This is mentality versus ability. When you look at Melo Ball play defense, you don't see lack of ability. You see lack of mentality.
Yeah.
He lets guys go past him too easily because that's his mentality. It has nothing to do with whether he's capable. He's totally capable.
Because Brian, you remember in Vitotis when that guy took it out of bounds, inbounds to go half court, and LaMelo snatched that out of his hands before he can even get there, and got in for a layup. He was trying because someone was pushing him to do that. LeVar Ball has been quoted as saying, "Oh, defense really doesn't matter, offense does."
And I think it gets, it's not the same level of talent that he's facing. Let's be honest. And, he's the face of this league. Like, with Vitotis, I mean, he was on the team, and he was very popular, but he wasn't the face of the LKL. He's the face of the JBA.
Brian, you know how easy it is for me if I were media head to destroy this league without even trying?
And honestly, I was thinking about this part too, like from a financial standpoint. I'm like, could you really sit Jello? Could you afford to sit? I mean, not Jello. I'm sorry. Could you really afford to sit Melo?
No.
Think about what I'm trying to say here. Look at the numbers. Can you really afford to sit Melo for 5 minutes in a game?
But
let's say LeVar Ball didn't own this league. Let's just say the JBA was owned by some random dude. Even that dude wouldn't sit Melo. He
wouldn't sit Melo, but he wouldn't take Liangelo.
I mean, maybe he would because they got to get butts in the seats. Like, some of this is financial, man. Like, I'm sure. Look, man, they're going to get more views because of this. They're going to get more ticket sales because of this.
You know what would have been smart, Bren? Like we said earlier, that he should have went to New York. Because then it would have been two teams people would have actually watched.
Right. I would have loved to see that.
Not one whole team. And
I would have loved to see
fixated on having them play together that Liangelo can't get out of LaMelo's shadow. Even when Liangelo plays better than LaMelo in Vitotis games, people are like, what LaMelo was doing? No one cares about Liangelo at a certain point. Like,
that's
remember,
true.
Overtime literally made a whole video of LaMelo doing a layup and then sitting up on the I guess Liangelo also played. Like, what? And that was the game where LaMelo scored 90.
Yeah. New York, I would have liked to see him on New York. That would have been like an East Coast, West Coast thing. That would have been interesting. That would have been
I'm tired of
interesting.
these kiss asses, man. There's so many kiss asses, so many yes men around this dude. It's not even funny. I expected more from AJ Hero, man.
I really want to touch on this Jello Melo thing because remember I told you a few weeks ago. No, this was actually a couple weeks ago, when I was like, I would like to see more rivalries in the JBA. Like, I want to see guys talking smack on Twitter. Like, I feel like a lot of the players are too friendly with each other. They don't really talk smack to each other. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're just all just trying to tread water right now. They're probably scared to get cut and things like that, and they just all want to be. But, like, nobody's really trying to, I feel like, take that mantle and challenge Melo. No one's really trying to challenge the guys getting all the attention, like Hollywood J or the whole entire Atlanta team, right? ISO Rail on Seattle, Jarrell Springer, you know what I mean, Curtis Hollis on Houston. Like, I want to see some of these guys start, because what I was saying about the NBA that's so compelling is the NBA, the storylines. The storylines are insane in the NBA. Like, there's a storyline in the NBA right now where I'm not even 100% about this story, right? Where Jordan Bell blocks some dude's shot and blows a kiss at Donovan Mitchell's girlfriend or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think that was. They had a little.
I don't know. I don't even know.
The
fact is, we don't know. But it's just that something like that can happen in the NBA, right? Like, guys are side like I remember when Liangelo Russell played for the Lakers, and the Lakers got into a fight with another team, and Russell pushed a player and then kind of walked off. And the next few hours later, Draymond Green must have saw this clip, and he decided he was going to talk crap about Liangelo Russell, saying he didn't like his involvement in the fight. And I'm like, that's the
even
NBA,
the Laker
right?
games and the Nugget games. Even the
that's
Laker games and
even
the
the
Nugget
announcers.
Games.
Even the announcers, Chuck's talking about he wants to sock dudes in the face. You know what I mean?
Sock him in the face.
It's soap opera storylines, man. And that brings me to my idea. What if, he's down in Florida anyway, and I already said they need a Florida team because a lot of athletes come out of Florida. The JBA adds a Florida team, headlined by Julian Newman.
Oh man, that's not cool. You know
Julian
how much hype that would get?
Florida, JBA. Let's make it happen.
LaMelo, Julian. Who's better? They already make videos on that anyway.
You want to know who's going to go at Melo? He ain't good as Melo. I'm not even saying that. But I guarantee you.
But he's going to make LaMelo play defense.
I guarantee you. There will be words. There will be words.
That's what we need.
Soap opera. Everybody and their mama watching that.
Yeah,
Julia's little sister.
I'm tired of watching JBA.
And his dad can coach too. His dad can coach the team too.
Nah, that would just
bring that to the JBA. Let's make it happen.
We need some wrestling.
We need a little bit of wrestling. Julian Newman to the JBA.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now. I need LeVar all the way out of the JBA. I want him to make profit off of it, but I don't want to have him in any of the operations. I just feel like this is not.
I don't think he is, man. I don't think he is on the simple fact that. No. Every time I hear him do an interview, he barely talks about the JBA. They're asking. He talks more about LeBron going to the Lakers than the JBA. Right now.
I'll tell you, of course, because he's into his son that's doing the best and he can brag about it. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to be real, he has some say in that JBA crap. Because guess what? Liangelo Ball is the reason they're cutting those players, not because of their performance. Liangelo Ball is the reason they are pushing players.
That's true.
And that's the unfair part. These guys perform to their best, and they're about to cut one dude off the play foreign team so Liangelo Ball can get the foreign. Because we know he's going to get to the foreign team. Do you know how unfair that is? The dude is going to play half the season that the other guy did and get more out of it. It's nepotism, and that does not help. And you heard Brandon Newman trying to explain it was AB the hero trying to explain that nepotism could be a good thing because I would want to help my family member. But no, when you have other people's lives on the line, you don't do that.
The thing with Jello doesn't necessarily need to be in the JBA. He has higher echelon situations vying for his services. So he doesn't actually need to be in the JBA.
He could be playing NBA players in the Drew League. You don't understand. There's so many other things that you could be doing except playing in a shitty high school system.
If he played in the Drew League, it would be packed out.
Yeah, and then
there's other things he could be doing. You're right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and AB, these guys are like apologists for everything because he was like, oh, but why would he want to do that when he could promote his own dad's league? Word? Really? You think they need him for promotion? They have NBA players playing. Calm down. And I don't get it. It's like
I would love to see Jello in the Drew League. I really would.
He needs better comp. The only way he's going to prove it. These guys aren't fives. They're not all 5 stars. So whatever happened in that tryout, because of course the Lakers are not taking him. They got Mo Wagner. I don't even think the Lakers shut him down. I think they really picked what they thought was going to work. Because they picked some shooters and some tall dudes.
But, they also picked Bonga. Bonga is not going to play in the NBA for the next 2-3 years. He's a project.
Yeah, but Bonga, he's like
Bonga
6'9".
has 7 turnovers in 12 minutes.
Okay, you got me. I was thinking, and the rest of the other guys that
aren't in the NBA for the next 2 years. I'm sure they're going to develop him and I felt like, okay, they could have did the same thing for Jello, and they just didn't want to do it.
It was too risky, man. LeVar can't get his nose out. And you know what? At first, I never liked saying this, so blame LeVar. I hate doing that. But now, at this point, I think he just all the way needs to back all the way the fuck off. Because it's just nothing he does is going to help after this point. He got to what he needed to do. And I'm begging these guys to tell LeVar, get a professional trainer. And they're like, LeVar's the best in the world. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yo, I want to fight these dudes, yo.
like real talk, I don't understand that. Even if you have the best trainer in the world, get some variety. I like what Brandon Ingram's doing. Ingram's trained with at least 4 or 5 different trainers this summer. Do that. Work on your different elements of your game. See what you can pick up and some stuff, like Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean? He'll go train with Hakeem Olajuwon just to learn post moves. You know what I mean? Late in his career, he did that, But that's fine.
When you look at Jello's workouts, it's him shooting around and lifting. The fuck? That's not getting you ready for the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to somebody else about that. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know if they should be showing that workout that he does because I'm just like,
okay, you lift.
I'm like, awesome. I'm guessing he probably does more, but what they're showing is just giving off the impression like that's the most difficult stuff he does, and I'm like, well, that's just body weight exercises and standstill shooting. I mean, nobody, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna tell you why I think he only does that. The TV show, Ball in the Family, only show him doing that. There was a point, Brandon's article only talks about him doing that. Everything that was talked about is just him basically running hills, lifting weights, and shooting shots. And when you see Brandon Ingram doing this evolved basketball,
yeah, man, I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm see on stuff like that. I'm like, to me, Lonzo got to step up on that though, because Lonzo is being trained by the Lakers,
Magic,
and he just played a year in the NBA, and he sees what his teammates are doing as well, and it's like with Jello, it's pretty obvious what he needs to work on. It's just footwork, ball handling, and defensive quickness type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had the slowest lateral quickness out of the guys he was playing in the pro camp. Pro Combine.
Yeah, so he's got to work on that, you know. And, you know, I mean, is he working on that? We don't know. You know what I mean?
And not only that, he's going in the NBA where they just got a guy who has a 7'10" arm length. And then they got Mo Wagner. They have all these big men. And you're telling me he's just going to bump them in the post? I'm sorry. No. Like, he has to learn something that's not taught by the ball. And also, we got to talk about the lifers, the pro LeVar guys, because just like the media, the anti LeVar guys, these media people, pro LeVar guys are just as annoying to me. They're just so annoying to me. Oh, we're gonna tell you some great news. I can't wait for this news. At first, you know what was going through my head? Oh, he's about to play in the summer league game. Then I didn't see him, so I was like, okay, that's not the news. I was dead hyped. I thought they had just picked him up. That was the hype.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
did at
you know,
first too, but then I knew it wasn't that because he said we're at the JBA practice, and I'm like, Liangelo Ball's practicing with the JBA team. I just knew it right away. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I was denying it, man. I don't know why you knew. I was denying that shit. I did not want that to be the hype because I said, if this is the hype, don't tell us. Just let. I don't give a shit. Like, I
don't know, man. It's really tough to judge the situation fully right now because we're really only 2 weeks into the inaugural JBA season.
No, I'm going to judge it fully at this point. Sorry.
I understand that. I got to see how this Europe thing is going to play out, or overseas thing, because they could play teams in China or wherever, right? I got to see how this overseas thing is going to play out before I can really see like what they're actually doing. And it's so hard to predict anything with Triple B because they fluctuate. Amazing. They fluctuate.
You know what? I'm about to tell you something really amazing. I don't think they give a fuck who they play in competition, which is the sad part. I think they're going to do the same BBB bullshit that they did before, where they play one good team, then they play a very terrible team, then they play another little kid team, and they promote it like
I think with Triple B, they were willing to play whoever, but the teams are going to send whoever they want to send. You know, they play the LKL team.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Those
are the teams. And that's what I'm saying. If they can't get good teams, then fuck it. Don't play, because you're not helping. That's just not helping. I'm tired of this. LeVar has is giving me too many headaches now. It's just he has to stop. He has to stop. Like, the nepotism is too bad, and he's going to hurt someone's career because he wanted Liangelo to play. That's the reason why I'm mad. That is, when you tweeted me, oh, I'm over this shit, if what he did, you know, if he cut somebody, he's basically already cut somebody. If they're still in the league, they're still cut, because guess what? Only 10 for some reason can play international teams, which I don't get that.
Well, let's address the rumors. And these are just rumors. I have no confirmation on any of this stuff. But a bunch of rumors came out. There was one lady, I'm guessing she was an angry parent. And she went off on Twitter, on someone's Twitter account, and she started saying all these different players got cut. She mentioned Keezo Brown, Greg Floyd, the center from Philly, I can't remember his name, but one of the centers on Philadelphia. And she said her son, which is named Brandon, played for the LA Ballers, also was cut. And some people had a very visceral reaction to that immediately. They were like, you know, how could you cut some of these guys, you know, like especially like Keezo and Greg, because, you know, Floyd very well might be the best player in that league.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
He's
it's like, wait a minute, why are we cutting him? Right. You know, he definitely was one of the first, you know, really well-known players that they actually recruited to join the JBA or whatever. And
if they cut him,
it was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why are we cutting all these? But we don't have any confirmations on that, so it's like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is just an angry parent or what, you know?
No, I think
So you really think they got rid of Keezo Brown, Greg Floyd, and
they didn't get rid of them.
Kid from Philly?
No, the Keezo Brown thing, I think that's extra shit. But Keezo Brown has been doing a lot of weird stuff on Instagram, a lot of gang stuff signs. So it's like weird.
Again?
I don't know. He's a little off when I look at his stuff, but he's a great player. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm overdoing it because it just looks weird. But the other guys, because this is the thing. Go to AB the Hero's stream. When I asked, did they cut guys? He answered, "Oh, they're rearranging things. They're fixing up things." Same thing with Brown. So when I hear that, all is they're fucking up people's careers. Not cutting people. Someone's career is getting fucked up.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what I want to know. I'm like, what does that mean? Are they being moved to different teams? Or are they just getting rid of guys?
And who's number 3 in LA?
Number 3. What position does he play?
Short guy, really talented guy, like the second to third
Miles
best
Malone?
guy.
Yeah, Miles Malone.
If one guy wrote, sources say he does not want to give up his number, and then Miles Malone liked that. So I don't know how that's going to happen. Like, there's a lot of things that just seem like this Liangelo thing could have caused a lot of drama that is not needed, and I don't know.
I think it was more than just Liangelo. I think it was also the fact that they lost the last 2 games with the LA Ballers.
But that's coaching.
You can't. I know, but you can't have the face of the league. You can't have the face of the league, and he can't win a game in his own league. His brother is the logo.
But that's LeVar's fault for picking an uncle as a fucking coach. And then when I asked, I said, why is this? That's nepotism. You know what AB the Hero says? Well, you can't call it nepotism if you don't know what the uncle's profession is. You don't know what he's done in the past. I said, can you tell me what he's done in the past? Didn't answer that. I'm like, no. I'm looking at him. He's a coach that looks like Ty Lue to me. There's nothing going on there. I swear. In the defense, if I'm seeing them playing that type of defense, I'm time out and I'm sitting Melo's ass down. I don't give a fuck if LeVar I'm angry because that is a problem. And that's my problem.
The thing about their defense is it's so easy to beat what they're doing because they load up on one side and they don't recover. So it's like, think of their defense like it should be like a slinky where it squeezes down on a player and then it springs out to the rest of the court when the ball moves to the other side of the court. But instead, when they squeeze down on that one player and he passes the ball across court, they don't spring out. They just kind of slowly try to figure out what they should do at that point. They don't really know. They can't handle a counter pass. So if they're overloaded on one side of the court because they're trying to trap the ball, when the player gets the ball to the other side of the court, they're at a disadvantage every time.
And I'm not, and this is the funny part. I am not a basketball mind, but I could obviously see that. And that's the bad part, where LaMelo leaves his man who's in the corner for the 3, who's usually a good shooter, to go to the point guard who's in the center to help to double team, which is not needed in that situation at all. Then the point guard kind of slides in, goes in, passes it out to the 3-point guy. LaMelo jogs slowly to the guy, and the guy shoots a 3. That happens about 5 times in a game. It's easily 3 to 4 times.
Another thing that they do, you could tell teams do, especially like later in the games, is they'll start bringing the ball up on LaMelo's side of the court because what ends up happening is it's a couple of different things that are happening. So when you bring the ball up LaMelo's side of the court, you're actually taking away one of the things he's actually good at defensively, which is picking off a passing lane. So if you're going right at him, he's not going to be able to pick off your pass because he's on the same side of the court as the ball. And what ends up happening is now you're putting the 5'6" Miles Malone in center field, and if your guy is a little bit behind him, now you got your guy attacking the basket, and their center, he's tall, but he's not a rim protector yet. He's very unpolished as a basketball player. He's not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take him. Like, I was talking over with my grandpa. We saw him live. the center on, I think it's number 21. I forget his name, but it's going to take him a
so
year
I
or
got
two.
some more their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to take him a year or two to really, become a decent basketball player. Like, he doesn't really know how to rebound well. He doesn't really know how to protect the rim, cut off angles, defend in space. He's a horrible outlet passer. I mean, oh my gosh, it's like a fluttering duck type pass. There's no speed on it at all for him to be that big.
And not only that, and I think there's a problem with most of the JBA, except for like the Atlanta team, which I know kind of pop. They had the problem in the beginning, is the dribbling, the over dribbling, where they're dribbling so much, the guy puts his hand out to get it, and they all fall the fuck down, and and it happens in the beginning of the 5 plays, and that's when I turn off that game. I can't watch that shit. The Atlanta is the only watchable team because they get the ball moving, they pass it to number 3 or the glove.
But you can see the other teams are starting to make adjustments. The other teams, they're changing up lineups. Yeah, LA Ballers, they don't really adjust. So if teams figure it out, they figure it out. There's not going to be a counter move.
I also have to apologize to New York. I was talking mad shit, saying they was trash, and then they brought Cam to be the point guard, and they adjusted, and he showed up. So I'm happy. I'm a New Yorker, so this is really good for me. I get to watch a team actually win. That's not the Yankees. So it's a good thing for me.
I feel like you could see even the Dallas team. They're starting to make adjustments. I mean, Dallas added some players too, though. But a lot of like other teams have added players as well. Like the LA Ballers are just the latest team and it's the biggest name, but other teams have had better players added to the team as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel like he started this league too soon because he's talking about spending. He's trying to higher up the price to 50, which is showing me these guys do things at the wind. If the wind says to do it, they'll do it. It doesn't feel planned out, like, really good. Like, why don't you get NBA trainers?
I don't think it can be.
Trainers?
I don't think you can't plan this stuff, man. It's unprecedented. This is unprecedented territory. We've never been here before. This is unprecedented. There's nothing to compare this to.
I'll tell you why. But I'll tell you why this is pissed. Because the jersey should be the easiest part.
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
You've been promoting.
I don't understand. And to be honest with you, I'm scared to buy one now because I'm like, dude, you buy this dude's jersey, he might not be on the team next week.
Not only that, LeVar's fucking with their money because you promoted this product like they're gonna make money off this. If I'm in the team, I'm like, yo, snap, LeVar. I got a lot of people on Instagram that want to buy my shit.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys
I would
are
totally.
like
I mean, because I was even thinking what would be cool is if like we had the JBA jersey challenge where you try to buy every player in the JBA's jersey. Only 64 players, 64 jerseys, and you'd buy 64 jerseys, and maybe give some of them away or whatever. But I was just thinking we could do stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not only that, you can talk to Frankie Vision and these big channels that promote LaMelo, who gets over 600,000 views. Kind of put LaMelo's name sort of in the video, but promote the player next to LaMelo that he was playing against, and then put the jersey tag right under the video, so that it allows to promote the guy, but LaMelo can still be a part of the promoting of the video.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
But
like if they, LaMelo versus Jarrell Springer, 2 tall point guards battle it out, whatever. And then the jersey stuff right under. Jersey links right under. Yeah,
and it allows to show that this league actually has skill. So that's the reason why another reason why I'm against Liangelo joining, because this league hasn't shown anybody that it has any skill. It really hasn't. It hasn't promoted it.
No, now this being said, let me ask you a question. I know you're looking forward to when they play Atlanta, though.
Oh, I am, because I know Atlanta's going to dunce them. I just
when they play Atlanta.
Atlanta's gonna kill them.
Man, who guards Melo? Who guards Jello? How do they
Jello
really press Atlanta the whole game? Are they gonna press Atlanta the whole game? Well, all them
they're gonna
shooters.
Get murdered. Because who's the point guard in that team? Like, he's really good at passing. Like
Hollywood J.
Izzo? Hollywood J. Hollywood J.
No, ISO is like the shooting guard. I mean,
ISO. Okay.
ISO. No, Isom Butler is the shooting guard on that team, but he can run point too. But Hollywood J is really the point guard.
Exactly. But they have. That's what I was saying. They have great passers.
And then they got Nigel
team.
Chaney. Yeah, they got it's three guards basically. It's a 3-guard lineup where you got Nigel Chaney. He's number 3. Hollywood J's number 1, and then Isom Butler's number 10. And they all play defense, tough defense, and they all can shoot. And then on the front court, you got Big Jelly. You got Phenom Brown, who can jump out the gym. He's crazy athletic. You know what I mean? Like, they really are a squad. And they can really shoot, and they play fast. They play tough defense. And I don't know. I don't think the LA Ballers will be able to beat them.
Jello's about to look bad. This is what I'm saying.
I don't know.
He's about to get baptized. Because if Jello plays LeVar's defense that they plan on having him play, he's going to look so bad. And
that game is in like a week or two.
I'm praying for his career. This isn't a good way to step in. Because now you're actually playing. Because the thing is, Atlanta is an actual team that I just want them to play foreign teams right now. Fuck the whole league. I just want Atlanta to play the foreign teams right now.
Right.
These guys can shoot out the building, have vertical, play above the rim. Like, I don't.
You won't be able to give anybody on Atlanta an open shot, man. I just don't see. I don't know. That's why I'm like, okay, who else did they add to the LA Ballers? Because we're talking all this crap, but if they added the right personnel, then it's going to be a very even matchup, or even give the edge to the LA Ballers.
As a Knicks fan, I know what they need to do. They need to fire their coach. That coach ain't getting you nowhere if you're the LA Ballers. If it has a ball, or if it's connecting to ball, it needs to be cut off. You need a coach that has no semblance of relation with LeVar Ball. Because that means, like I told you in the beginning, he is playing LeVar's system, and that's why LeVar took him in.
Man.
And that system always allows. You notice how the system always allows for other teams to score 130, to the point the system forces LA to have to shoot a bunch of shots. And Melo's not making his threes at all, because he shoots like he's 5'9", and he's not anymore. So he's just going to be missing them.
I feel like that's the problem with his defense. He plays defense remember I said mentality versus capability. The way Melo plays defense is as if he thinks in his mind he's not capable of being a shutdown, lockdown defender. Even though I think he has the athletic ability to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, these people online just keep on giving LeVar credit for Lonzo. Like, oh, look at Lonzo, look at his defense. Where do you think he got that from? And I said the UCLA and the NBA. I don't think he got that from there. And also, like, you can't act like those coaches.
No. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's very simple. And think about the style of defense Lonzo plays. Okay, so now let's consider everything with the Ball brothers. So we know that they've been playing together since they all could walk, right? And Lonzo is the oldest brother. So that means Lonzo has always been the best player on the team growing up. He's always been the best player of the three, for the most part, because he's always been the oldest brother, always been the point guard, for what I understand.
So you think it's because of his talent that allows for LeVar Ball's system not to look like complete shit?
No, it's not even that. It's deeper than that.
No.
So think about it, what I'm saying. Like, let's say I put you on a team with a bunch of younger dudes. Like it's like putting LeBron on the team with the Lakers right now. And, you're now, not only that, we're playing against competitions that's older than you. So now you're the best player on the team, and we're playing against even better competition. And now you have to step up. You got to be the guy. Because if you're not the guy, your little brother's not going to be the guy. Lonzo's the oldest. And think about the way he plays defense. He's all over the place. Because that's the way he had to play defense when growing up. There's no way, that's the only way they could be competitive is if he had to. You want to know what I compare it to? You ever seen on those cartoons where like a leak springs up, and the guy puts his finger in the leak to stop the leak, right? And then another leak springs up, and he's got. Lonzo is doing that. He's putting his whole life playing defense. At least he's always had to put his fingers in different holes to stop all these leaks on the court. And that's the way he plays with the Lakers. That's how he grew up. LaMelo, on the other hand, is in a different situation. Now, you're playing on a team with where your oldest brother is playing against older guys, and you're on that same team starting on the wing. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you're playing against guys that could easily go around you. Easily. Just because they're just bigger, stronger, and faster. And so he had to learn how to play a certain style of defense to be effective on the court. So what he did was he probably learned, just seeing how he plays now, he learned to let guys go around him and kind of sneak from the back and get the ball from him that way. Was easier for him than just trying to guard a guy straight up because, like I said, the guy that he's guarding, he's not going to be able to guard that guy at that age. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So he picked up a habit where it's like he funnels players to the bigger player that was probably behind him most of the time his whole life. But the problem is now, Melo, you're about to be damn near 6'9", and you're athletic.
You can't be playing like that.
You can't be playing like that, bro. You can't. You don't need to do that no more.
Yeah, I want to see LaMelo play in the Drew League, man. I want to see him play best NBA players. I want to see that. Because I know he can.
I don't think it would be that big a deal. I saw Kuzma play in the Drew League. He was like at half speed. I think Melo would be fine in the Drew League, to be honest.
Yeah, but
they don't really play.
The
defense in the Drew League is not really that tough.
Shit out of him. Well, of course.
Yeah, they would hype it up, but it wouldn't be. I mean, they don't really play defense in the Drew to me.
But
they do, but they don't.
That's great for LaMelo. Because the thing is, LaMelo needs PR to make himself look good. If he's playing against NBA players, it doesn't matter if they don't play defense or they do. It's better than saying, oh, I played against kids who couldn't go to college because they something.
I mean, Lonzo and Jello played in the Drew League.
What?
Before they went, I think it's on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, Lonzo, Jello, and a couple of kids from their high school, they played in the Drew League when Lonzo was at UCLA. So I mean, it's possible. I mean, he could do that. I mean, if I was him, I would just to especially see if you can match up with any NBA players and see what it's like. I'm just
gonna get my heart ready for disappointment. Liangelo would be a great model. He could just, what brand he could wear. I think it's over. There's not because of Liangelo's skill, just because teams see this, they're going to be like, okay, so these guys definitely listen to their dad, everything he does, even if it sounds bad. That's a no. That even the thought. I
think what makes it worse is that comment he made like a week ago where he said it would be a step back. Because now it just looks like he's being forced to do so. If anything, I know he put out some statements. I would like him to, he needs to do a press tour by himself. I think Lonzo has done one, and I think Jello did one for the NBA draft. Now that he's joined the JBA, I would like him to do one by himself, not with LeVar, just by himself, where he explains to people this is what he wants to do and the reasons why.
He needs to get in the plane, travel the world by himself, grow up, and just do his thing. Don't talk to his dad for at least a month. I'm just, to this point, he needs all the PR that doesn't show him with his dad all the time, so his dad eats up airspace. It's just to the point where I think LeVar has ruined Liangelo's. I mean, Liangelo ruined his chance in the beginning, of course. We all know that the debacle. But
yeah, that
LeVar
Chinese thing. Yeah, that was so unfortunate.
LeVar has LeVar has continued the tradition of helping Liangelo ruin his career. I just, like LaMelo, he could take the hit on the JBA. If it doesn't become successful, LaMelo's 16. He could do anything he wants for another, 3-4 years. Liangelo does not have that amount of time. He's about to be 20.
I just hope that they're at least considering the European teams. I hope they're at least considering it.
No, because guess what? Everybody here, all these guys were talking, well, he did say he didn't want to go back again. I'm saying that's not a fucking good thing. No. He better fuck him. Fuck what he thinks. You have a choice.
I mean, the goal is to get to the NBA. The goal is to get to the NBA. So
exactly.
You go play better competition, and you do well, and you play a whole season, and now hopefully your team does well. They're going to the playoffs and all of that, and now
you're not playing half a season of LKL.
Right.
Not even a quarter. It wasn't he didn't have that much games left.
It was 12 games, if that. Was it even 12 games he played in?
I'm you don't understand, Ryan. I'm just upset. I'm upset. When you have to understand, I was ready to call you, just in anger. Not even the podcast. I needed a hug at that moment because it was just, I felt like Liangelo lost his career and he can't navigate it because some madman at the car is oh, you got to play with your little 16-year-old brother.
Yeah.
And I
really hope, this is what I do hope though. I hope he averages 100 points a game. I really do. I hope it's absurd.
Oh, no, that's going to be bad for the JBA. This is a two-edged sword. This is a real two-edged sword. If he performs really, really well and scores 40 on them, that looks bad on the JBA. If he performs really, really bad, that looks bad on him. LeVar Ball either sacrifices his son or the JBA. That is the only two things that it does not help. Nothing works in this situation. It is a very tight rope. LaMelo could score 40. He's 16. People go, oh, he scored 40 on 8, 19-year-olds. It's okay. Liangelo scoring 100, not okay. Liangelo scoring 50, not okay. Because remember, the media did this tricky thing where every time LeVar and Liangelo would come and talk about how their performance, they would only show the Chinese game. You notice that shit, right? They only showed them playing against the Chinese kids. And the reason they did that was to show that they were playing only little niggas. And LeVar did not catch on to that, which was the funniest part. It was literally behind him.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. I believe that. To make it seem like, they weren't playing. Because that's the main argument I encounter when I talk about Jello is, who did he play against? That's definitely the perception.
Yeah. And when you say he played against 3 NBA players in the same time, you know what they say next? Oh, well, they didn't really play. They let the bench play. Well, the game. Those guys got full minutes. I'm like, what are you making up stories in your head? They were playing good games. The guy just came out of the Pistons. Who's the coach who used to be the coach of the Pistons? Who got fired?
Stan Van Gundy.
Stan Van Gundy literally had an interview talking about the point guard who came there last year to play for that Vitotis team and say, I really hope for him. He got a championship with the Spurs. People forget just because they want to hate Liangelo. This is the problem. Liangelo does not have the same amount of length or arm length or the gifts of all these different things to just take the easy road out. He's not Michael. Nah. You saw Mitchell Robinson. He's not Mitchell Robinson. He can't just go to high school and then go to the NBA.
But you can see, when you look at guys like Josh Hart, or you look at guys like back in the day, Rick Fox, and you say, okay, if he can develop a toughness and a defensive mindset, he could play in this league.
But here's the difference
he's got to cultivate that opportunity.
But after seeing those Lakers draft picks, man, I said the Lakers was not trying to play. They were picking for real. So the Liangelo thing, yeah, is cool, but they were finding gems. They thought Bungo was a gem because if you watch the videos, he looked like a gem. But then at the same time, you have to think about this. Liangelo is a slow-footed lateral guy who's 6'5", who doesn't get a lot of shots out all the time. Because think about this. You have guys like Civ who are shooting beautifully in the Summer League right now.
You mean
like
C.
Liangelo
C,
would
yeah.
see, like, Liangelo wishes he could shoot like that guy. Like, his release is beautiful. Like, I even doubt that he would miss the shot. That's how good this kid is. So I get why he didn't get picked. I mean, other teams, I mean, when I look at Trae Young, I'm like, come on. Like, Liangelo should have played. Like, he's out here. Like, the funny thing is they were both considered sharpshooters when they were playing with each other in the ball is life thing.
Yeah.
And the more I see Trae Young, the more I realized it was a campaign for him. It was because of his passing ability and his shooting. They all mixed that up in the way he shoots and how far he shoots, and his his bad shot selection made him look good.
I mean, that could be the case, but I like it. I'm one of those people that does compare Trae Young to Steph Curry, and I'm like, okay, Steph came out after his junior year.
Exactly. That is true. That's why I hate when people kind of just shit on. Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying he's trash because in order to be trash, you have to be incapable of doing anything on the court, which he's not. He can pass. Like, it was beautiful passes he was making, so I don't get what people say. Also, his shots look good. It just feels like his team.
They're just a little short.
His team suck. His team is. He cannot do this with Atlanta. Like, he can't do this with Atlanta. This is Oklahoma Part 2 all over again. Guys who don't help him off the pick, guys who don't pass him off, guys who want the glory of themselves like Collins. Then, if he was with a team like Philly and Ben Simmons giving him the pass through the behind the, oh man, like he needs to be with good teams. He's that type of player.
I think we gotta wait 2 seasons for Trae.
Oh, I mean,
give him the same amount of time that Steph got. Like, I'm willing to give him, because Steph had to go through growing pains, but he just went through them in college. You know what I mean? And so when he got to the NBA, he was ready to go. He came out after his junior year. You know.
Also,
Trae's
Steph
coming after his freshman year.
Also, Steph was a 3-star recruit. Also, Steph was a 3-star recruit, so he couldn't just leave. Which was Liangelo. Man.
I mean, I compare Liangelo. I mean, I kind of compare him to Clay, and I'm like Clay.
I want him to either go full out there and try to become the best basketball player, or just give up. There's just because it's either you're embarrassing your family name or you try hard enough.
What I want to see is he's going to play in the JBA no matter what. This is what I would like to see from Jello. Let's put Jello at point guard. Like, I want to see Jello get experimental with his game and try to, like, grow it in different ways. Like, I don't want to see him play, and do the same things he did with Vitosis. Because I feel like, okay, now you're playing against lesser competition, so let's expound on your skill level. Like, let's try different things out that you wouldn't normally try.
And I don't want him bodying people at the rim.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want him bodying people at the rim because that's not proving anything.
Yeah, like, I don't need to see him post up anybody. What I want to see him do is cross somebody over. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see him try to do those things, even if he's bad at them at first.
Oh,
but I want to see him try. I want to see him try to do it.
Oh, yeah, because if Mo Wagner can do that.
Well, with Jello, we don't know what he's capable of or not. So I'm like, okay, let's grow your game. Grow your game.
Yeah, Jello's gonna have to get real talented because the NBA is becoming a very tall, big guy, talented league. There's dudes.
I feel like he's tall enough.
Yeah, I know he's tall enough, but like his skill is not like. And I'm gonna be real. A lot of people. Brandon said this thing with Brandon said something so stupid, which made me laugh. He said, "Yeah, the JBA is just as good as the Summer League. Actually, it's probably better." And I'm like, "Stop lying."
Nah.
Okay, I said maybe
nah.
I said nah. I watched that game. I didn't see dudes falling 5 times in like 4 possessions.
Nah.
Let's chill out. First of all, and I gave him this.
Yeah.
I said, maybe offense, but not defense. No, not even close. And not even offense. Like, I can actually watch a team I'm not interested in the JB, in the summer league.
Right.
Kevin Knox is doing beautiful things on the court. He's not falling over his dribble because a guy sort of got next to him. He's not trying to do a spin
I
move
still
and
haven't
then
watched
miss an
Kevin
open
Knox
layup.
play, but like so many people have hit me up about that dude.
He's missing his threes, but man, this guy. The Knicks.
I mean, so many people are like, have you seen
core.
Kevin Knox? I'm like, man, Sean must be happy.
Oh, the Knicks have a young core. Finally, we're here. We're not making the playoffs, but we're here. With Fizdale, Mitchell, but Mitchell gets tired real quick. Kevin Knox, he has to work on his three. Ntilikina, I hope they trade him for Lonzo somehow. But just all these guys, Ntilikina got to go. I'm really not interested in him, what he offers.
Oh, you're not what? What?
I'm not interested in what he offers.
Wait a minute. When did this happen?
I never was. Actually, no. I was interested until
you like Frankie. Don't try to change it.
Well, I was wrong because there's something that with Frank. When I see other point guards and I see them and I'm like Lonzo, I'm like New York Knicks uniform. Kuzma, New York Knicks uniform. I want to steal your players. I don't get somehow, some way. I just want those two players because then the Knicks would get to the playoffs and probably be in the championship.
Kuzma signed with Clutch Sports, man. He's not leaving LA, bro.
Oh, what? He signed with Clutch?
Yeah.
LeBron sure, man.
He's not
LeBron
leaving
is the
LA,
captain
bro.
now. LeBron is the captain now.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, LeBron. As soon as he goes to teams, that's why it's kind of funny. Teams want him, but then they realize, oh shit, we don't have it. This is not our team anymore.
Right.
This is he says.
Hey, you know what?
Guys.
I'm fine with it. I'm just gonna ride the wave. I'm gonna tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get down there to the Blaze Pizza in Culver City. I'm definitely gonna try to get video and pictures because I really want to see if LeBron's gonna be there. And I also want free pizza.
You live in the place where LeBron gets to play. I live in the place where Kristaps Porzingis is injured. I just, man.
You don't understand. This Blaze Pizza that he's talking about being at is first of all, okay, let me just paint a picture for you. So it's right by the infamous 405 freeway, and it's about 2 miles away from LAX on the freeway. Okay, 2 to 5 p.m. This is rush hour time. There's already the freeway's already gridlocked. Okay, anyway, so it's going to be crazy tomorrow. Then on top of that, they're giving out free pizza.
Yeah, man. Okay, this is a subject I want to talk about. NBA ranking teams. Just rank the top 4 next year.
And all you're about to see how I think. Number 1, Golden State. Number 2, the Lakers.
Yep. I'm actually with you.
Number 3, Houston. And number 4, Boston. Right now.
Yep.
But I'm willing to say Milwaukee is a close 5. Because they have a better coach, and I don't know what effect he will have on that team, and I don't know what Jabari Parker's state of health is. If he's healthy and Bud is that much of a better coach, Milwaukee might be better than Boston.
Actually, that whole thing you just said, I agree with it. And I agree with and people online will probably say, well, why you put LA in front of Houston? LA has a stacked-ass bench. They have a stacked,
yeah, they do.
They have a full team. If I'm watching Mo Wagner, Josh Hart, and these guys doing that kind of stuff, except for Alex Caruso, he can go somewhere. But this is a team.
They got a squad.
This is a team.
They're going to compete
Like
every
LeBron
night.
could
It's going to be
decide-
really tough for teams to beat them. They're going to
LeBron could
outsmart
probably
teams
say-
every night.
Yeah, LeBron could probably say, you know what, I'll sit. And then get to shoot with, and then get to pass it to Sims for a shot. He gets to pass it to Mo Wagner. He gets to pass it to Josh Hart. People who say this team doesn't have shooters are dumb. Yes, their starting lineup is not that amazing of shooters. They can improve. I mean, Lonzo was a rookie. Like, they act like he came in and this is his 8th year in the NBA. I don't get that.
Of course. They're all going to get better. Everybody, all of the Lakers, that's the beautiful thing about this team is we know that they're going to be exponentially better because they're mostly made up of young guys who are going to improve vastly over the next 3-4 years.
Also, Brian, I got to tell your fellow Lakers fans something. You guys are all dumb if you think Magic did a bad thing. You replaced Rondo with Tyler Ennis, okay? Don't act like you replaced him with Kobe. You replaced him with Tyler Ennis is gone. Rondo took his place. Rondo, who spanked Dame, which I don't know why people want Dame so badly. Like, he got spanked by Rondo.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, honestly, you could say Rondo replaced Ennis. Lance Stevenson replaced Corey Brewer.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
Come on, guys. Come on. The hilarity that this will – look, I want to watch the games now,
LeBron replaced
too.
Julius Randle. I mean, you can go down the list. Yeah, they got better.
This is the meme lineup. This is one thing I like from the media, what they said. This is a meme lineup. You have Rondo with his weird faces he'll make and getting aggressive. Lance Stevenson doing some type of dance and getting teams angry at him.
They're just a team that's going to come at you in waves, I feel like. Because even when their second unit comes in, their second unit is going to outplay your second unit most nights. And then their first unit has LeBron.
And that's the problem with a lot of teams.
It's going to be very tough to beat this team. Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of teams in the NBA have trash-ass benches. Like,
right.
Not deep benches
at all. They have
a
bench. Right.
In Houston, they let go of their good guys. Philadelphia let go of their shooters. I mean,
usually teams with benches don't have players of LeBron's caliber in the starting lineup, though. That's why I ranked them so high, because I'm like, okay, you're giving LeBron James a bench. That's different. That's a lot of variety of lineups and things that they can do.
And I want to say this: people who thought Josh Hart was good in the Lakers have to really watch those games. I watched those games. Josh Hart was not good. He was a guy who would be not pass the ball, who would run at the rim, hope to make the shot, do some dumbass shot, and then miss it. He'll make 20, but he took 20 shots. People don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? When I watched Josh Hart, I was upset. And then maybe later in the season, before he got traded, then he kind of picked it up and played better. But
wait. You're not talking about Josh Hart. You're not talking about Josh Hart.
No. What's that guy? I forgot his name. Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson.
What I mean. Yeah. I don't get why people like Jordan Clarkson. I didn't get that. Jordan Clarkson, and I don't get why people like D'Lo.
Yeah, he was kind of like a really bad defensive player, number one, and really limited offensively, not really a great passer or shooter.
I want the Lakers to turn into the bad boy Pistons. That's what they need to become. We need that. That's what they need to become.
I think they're kind of coming – they're going to have an edge to the team. There's going to be an edge to this team, and they got the baddest man in the game to lead them.
Yeah,
and it's going to be interesting to see how they match up with Golden State. But I wouldn't put any other team on their level. I wouldn't put any other team above them except for Golden State. Other than Golden State, I'm not even going to, Golden State's the Golden State, you know what I mean? But other than Golden State, all these other teams, they can get it. They can get this action because I'm just like, okay, let's see how deep your team runs. Because our team is going to be
the drama's going to be lovely. Oh, Paul George coming to the Lakers game. Oh, man. The beauty in that. That is.
Oh, OKC. I don't even think I would go out on a limb. OKC is not going to make the playoffs next year. Watch.
They're trash. No, they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think.
No, they won't.
I think they'll get
no, they won't. No, they won't. They're not going to make the playoffs next year. They're not. because if any other key rotation guys get injured, that's it for them. Utah's going to be better next year.
That's the sad part. You had a team with 3. People made this excuse, oh, but the reason we didn't get to the second round is because of Robinson. Word? That's what it took for a 3 like a super team, so-called? Just one of their guys who can't shoot a shot and only plays defense to be out? That's all it took? That's not a super team then.
Denver's going to be better next year. Like teams that, were on the lower end are going to be better next year. Lakers and Denver are going to be in the playoffs next year probably. And someone's going to get pushed out because of that.
And the East is basically ran by young guys. It's a bunch of young teammates.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of young places. No, the old Knicks guys are knowing they're going to get kicked out. Kylo Quinn's noticed he was going to get kicked out soon. And Knicks are just saying, listen, they're doing the Magic Johnson stuff to get him out.
If I was OKC, I'd be praying that they break up the team in Minnesota. Because I have a feeling they're going to be battling Minnesota for that last spot.
Oh, man, that is hilarious. Oh, man. And Utah Jazz, they were amazing last year, but I just think that's because they played a shit team in the first. I don't think they're going to get...
Yeah, but they'll be better next year. I mean, they won a ton of games at the end of the season. They're going to be better next year. They might win 60 games next year.
A lot of those ton of games were either against depleted teams or against teams that were tanking, so I'm not going to count that. And then also,
with them, it's always about Rudy. Like, if Rudy can be healthy all year, they might win 60 games. If Rudy's not healthy all year, then, that's different.
Yeah, and also, Houston, I don't think they're getting out of second round either. Like, because they're the only reason that they got to the quarterfinals was because of Chris Paul. Because James Harden is a choke artist. He's the beautiful choke artist. He always takes a bunch of shots. They always go missing. He always disappears. It's like always happening with him. Am I wrong on that?
You're not wrong. It's just that, okay, so Houston ran this your turn, my turn offense with these 2 really dynamic scoring type players, and they're so different from each other, like their styles. It made, guarding that team almost impossible because you surround those 2 guys with shooters and guys that can, catch lobs and all that. It's just a lot to deal with offensively, with what they could do. But it's like they also had like a lot of just wing depth defensively, and they just got rid of some of those guys to Trevor Ariza, Luke Richard, and it's just like, okay, you're replacing those 2 guys with Melo. I don't see that. Like, because I'm like, okay, let's say they play the Lakers. Yeah. This is why I'm like, okay, nah, this ain't it. Like, Lakers is better than Houston. Because, okay, if they play the Lakers, who guards LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron's not a KD. He's not soft. He's going to dunk on half these dudes.
Who guards LeBron on that team?
Aren't they all like Liangelo type?
I'm just saying, Trevor and Luke Richard would have been the 2 guys. You going to put Melo on LeBron? Okay, so let's say you put Melo on LeBron. I don't see them doing that, but let's say they do. Okay, then who's guarding Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you put your second best defender on Brandon Ingram. Oh, well, Kyle Kuzma dropped 38 on you last year. Who's guarding him?
Yeah, it's not looking good.
They don't have wing depth. They don't have wing depth, man. It's going to come back to bite them. It's going to come back to bite them because, like, you can't put Chris Paul or James Harden on LeBron James. LeBron's going to average 70 against them.
Now, and I don't want to talk about the Garbito teams, the trashiest of trash teams, the teams where people actually think they have a chance, which they don't. The Kings. I don't. And Kings
I don't
and
know
the
what
Suns.
the Kings are doing.
Kobe 2.0. With Kobe and Shaq 2.0. I never want to hear that. Like, I'm watching him in his summer league thing. He's a great center. But I'm not getting any Shaq vibes from him. I'm really not.
Nah, not at all.
It's just,
nah.
So I'm
DeAndre
wondering,
Ayton,
and then
that ain't it.
Nah. I don't see
That
them
ain't it,
winning more than 25 games this year. Oh, that's horrible for me to say. I just don't see them winning more than 30 games.
I mean,
this
I
year.
don't think they're going to be the worst team, though. I think the worst team is probably going to be either Atlanta or Orlando. Atlanta or Orlando.
Atlanta. Because, man.
Maybe even Detroit. Detroit might be pretty bad, too.
No, you were right about Atlanta, man. They're the worst team. I'm going to tell you why I feel this. Because Trae Young is a great passer, but you can't tell when he can't pass to non-shooters. These are worse guys than the Lakers had last year. This is not a team that looks like they're even going to win. There's a lot of bad teams still. It seems like they did good picks and they all got first-round picks, but I still feel like this organizations and the way they have the team made, it's just sloppy. Like the Kings put their whole starting rotation in the summer league, and they're competing. That's not a good thing. They should be dominating.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the key with the Kings, I still believe, is De'Aaron Fox. They will go as far as he can take them. And if he plays well, I mean, yeah, it just depends. I mean, he needs to improve. He needs to improve as a shooter.
How are you a point guard that doesn't
improve as a decision maker?
How are you a point guard that doesn't pass? I don't get this point guard stuff. You don't have more than 6 assists, you should stop calling yourself a point guard. The league needs to make a law on calling people point guards. If you don't have more than 5 assists, you're not a point guard.
I agree.
Because it doesn't make sense. You score 20 points and you have 2 assists. You are not a point guard. You are a shooting guard. You're not a point guard. I just don't. Like, it's a nice title to put on, but that's the reason why these casual fans don't notice it. Like, there's something about Fox. And you know who reminds me of Fox too? Colin Sexton.
Oh.
Like, at first I was like, yo, Colin Sexton has a bright future.
Sexton's a little different to me. Because Sexton can shoot a little bit.
Yeah, he can shoot, but he also looks like in the hard game, he's going to dive in and do some dumb shit that can get him injured. He seems like a fighter, but not a smart one. It just, sometimes I feel like he does plays that he doesn't need to.
I feel it. Like he's going for the extra mile.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because it looks nice on TV, but that shit could end your career. Plus, he's playing with Cleveland, so it's going to be a lot of headaches for him. I hope he has a strong stomach for it because he's going to have to play with Jordan Clarkson, George Hill. He's going to have to play with J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith still exists. I don't think he can survive this. If I was a pickup, I would say no to Cleveland. I just would.
I'd say I wouldn't show you my list. I'm injured. Another team who I'm not big on is the Nuggets. Yeah, they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going anywhere this year.
I think they're going to the playoffs, man. I think they're going to be better than OKC. I do.
Yeah.
They're going to be better, and this is it's the same argument I have with the Lakers. All the younger teams you saw last year, they're going to be better this year. They're going to be a little bit better. It's just a matter of how bad were they last year and how much can they come up this year. So it's like teams like Sacramento and Phoenix, that we know they have a longer way to go because they were terrible last year. So they're only going to get so much better. But when you look at a team like Denver, who had a lot of injuries and was kind of around the playoff thing, next year they'll be better. Next year they'll have a few more wins. They'll be closer to a playoff team. They were very close.
The Bulls got themselves a rookie, man. The Bulls got themselves a rookie.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
they're going to be
Carter.
Yeah. I like Wendell Carter. I don't know why they signed Zach LaVine to $80 million though. I don't get that.
Desperate. Because they didn't want the fans.
I'm like $80 million. You could have signed Julius Randle for that. Can you imagine Julius Randle and Wendell Carter on the same team?
Julius Randle's already
signed up. But they should have took that $80 million and offered it to Julius Randle.
Yeah, and Zach Levine said they could have offered him less. Because, like, the thing is, they could have offered him something earlier. They didn't offer him anything. Also, Julius Randle could have got that payment, and that would have been that would have been a playoff team. That's a playoff team.
Can you imagine Julius Randle and Wendell Carter? Oh, my God.
That's it. Black City! Yo,
Julius would have, oh, man. But,
is this the year of the arm
Zach,
length?
I just don't think he's worth. I don't know, man. He's coming off
this
that
injury. This is the year of
injury.
the arm length.
I think he shot 36% from the field or something I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing.
Zach Levine does not amaze me. He's really good at dunking.
He kind of reminds me of Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah,
kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but he's paid way more. It's just like they already have Larry Market and.
Well, Jordan Clarkson had a $50 million contract.
Man, this is the reason why I don't think a lot of guys have basketball eyes when they hire people. Like, I think Jim Buss is a terrible guy who didn't really look at these guys' talents. He really didn't give a shit. Because if you look at Jordan Clarkson, he just reminds me of a Melo type. But less talented.
It's like when Jordan Clarkson was on the team, and Larry Nance too, when they joined the team, what happened was when they drafted Julius Randle, he broke his leg. So he didn't play his rookie season. So I feel like with Clarkson, he really was the crown jewel of the draft he was drafted in. Because, he was like a decent rookie that we had drafted that wasn't expected to be that good in the first place. Okay? And then similar situation with Larry Nance Jr. in the next year, same kind of thing. And I just feel like, especially under the old regime, that's kind of how they looked at him, like this unexpected diamond in the rough type guy. And then the new brass came in, and they wanted a certain personality type. They wanted a certain type of player on the court and everything, certain type of shooter, a certain type of playmaker, scorer, defender. And Clarkson he's not any of what they wanted.
And also, I'm mad. The other Summer League guys in the Lakers squad are trash. The only good players in the Lakers squad is Josh Hart, Sivs. I'm calling him Sivs. I don't know. I'm bad at names. And Mo Wagner. That is the only players that I want to watch touch the ball. And, Malik Newman. Malik Newman, too, when he's with them. And that's it. Everyone else needs to be cut right now. Get Liangelo ball some time, because every time I watch them and they don't pass the ball to open to – it was early in the Summer League. I think it was before the Summer League. It was Sacramento games. And these guys were trying to ball hawk and go into the rim without passing it to an open Fibs. That shit was pissing me off. I'm like, you're not
But
nice.
see, that's why
Stop
Caruso – I know you were bagging on Caruso, but that's why he's key for the Summer League team, because he actually passes the ball.
Yeah, and he knows.
He makes decisions to get guys open.
Yeah, that was a good decision bringing him. I think that was the missing piece. Like, Caruso, he's a good passer, and he's also a good shooter. He's not bad. He's not terrible. I just don't want to see him play in the NBA. I don't know. That's just how I feel. He's a great G League player. I just don't want to see him play.
He's got to learn how to stay in front of guys.
Yeah, that's what makes me mad.
Yeah, he's just not good at locking in on D just yet. Like, he has some good defensive instincts, but I see guys blow past him pretty easily sometimes.
I mean, he's better than Tyler Ennis. We can always go back to that. And
yes, he is. I hope they bring Gary Payton back, because I was kind of interested in him at the end of the year. I thought he looked interesting.
Give him a chance. Gary Payton's defense, when he was given a chance, was amazing. The guy was not letting shit go past him. Like, that was
I just don't understand why Luke wouldn't play him over Tyler Ennis at a certain point. Like, I'll never understand that.
I want them to fire Luke. And you know what? This could be a little video in itself. They need to fire Luke. I just feel like Luke is just a better version of Ty Lue. He just does dumb shit and then just looks around acting like, well, I'm doing the Warrior system. You can't do the Warrior system anymore, big boy. These are not shooters. These are defensive guys who can pass the ball, high IQ players. You use Lonzo wrong. You don't put Lonzo in a warrior system. You just don't.
Okay, so we're definitely going to do a Luke video. And
yeah, man.
The JBA review basically turned into the NBA review.
Yeah, but, you know what? I'm going to be real with you, Brian. I'm done with the JBA until they play foreign players. I don't want to get angry watching it because you have to understand when I'm watching the beginning of every game and they're
You're not
falling
going to
over
watch
themselves.
this next Jello Ball game at least just to see what it looks like?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
I know. You have to watch at least the first game he plays in.
I'm going to watch it, but it better, like, a lot of these JBA games, 5 minutes in, I turn it off. It's like, that's why I don't watch college basketball. It's the same thing with college basketball.
I feel it.
It's just messy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, yeah.
I
man.
enjoy watching Kizo a lot. I enjoy watching the Atlanta Ballers a lot.
Yeah.
Houston can be entertaining at times, but sometimes they get kind of boring too. And I enjoy watching the New York team progress. Like, they just look like they get better every game. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, LA Ballers, I enjoy watching Melo and Floyd, if he's still on the team. Hopefully he is. Malone, when he's right, he's really entertaining to watch too. So this concludes the JBA weekly. This is week 2. We skipped a week, and next week we'll see if Sean is still watching JBA games.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can hit me up at B on Twitter at BSanders2520, and you can hit Sean up at Sean Ammon 4. Ammon 4. My bad. SHAWNAMON 4. Twitter, on Twitter. So at BSanders2520, at Sean Ammon 4. You can hit us up, ask us questions, follow us. We always talk back to people. We're going to start bringing on special guests. We're going to definitely have a special guest next time we do this thing. And, just give people different perspectives of the JBA and what's going on with the league and everything like that. And in the meantime, between time, we'll be releasing our Ball Control podcast regularly. And our way, way, way after the fact podcast is still coming through, too. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Good night to you, Sean. Thanks for doing this.
Good night to you. Have a good day.
All right, man, bro.
Thanks.